Hello, Craftaholics, and if this is your first time here, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Peggy, and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to show you my method for making wax seals, but the best way to start is to go on Amazon and look up wax seal kits. They contain everything that you need. They will have tea lights in them. They will have one of these little round pieces, which sits over the tea light, and your melting spoon sits in with your wax. They will include a stamp and a handle. They will have wax beads. Now, it won't be like all these purple. It's usually a bigger box, it's this size box. And it has an assortment of colors in it. And they will have a gold and silver metallic marker, usually. I've also bought some that without this, but they have like envelopes, and there's different varieties. But you definitely, for the first time, want to get one that has the stand. Markers this is personal preference. I choose not to use them. But what you do is you take the marker and you color the part of the stamp that's raised, just to make it stand out a little bit more. But I don't use these. And I also buy my own tea lights, which are thicker than a normal tea light. I get these on Amazon also. They've got like an 8-hour burn time because I make my seals separate and then I glue them onto something, so I do them in batches. And this also works really good if you just want to light something and let it burn for longer than normal. Okay, so I have 4 wax beads in my little spoon there getting melted. There are different kinds of spoons. And with all the kits that I've gotten, they all come with the copper one with the wooden handle. I guess some I've seen with this kind of spoon, but there is this type. There is one that is just the steel. I'm assuming it's steel. It doesn't say. But don't fear though, when you use this one, you can still touch it. It doesn't get hot even though it's all metal. And then there's a fancier spoon like this one, which I got in a swap about 5 years ago. And I have tried to use it because I like the weight. It's easy to hold on to, but because of the metal it is, the entire thing gets really, really hot. And trying to hold it with something, I don't have a lot of control. So this kind, I just put on my shelf, or I use it as a scoop, but I don't use this for wax melting. And all the spoons have different depths as well. And I don't use the narrow, like the really skinny one, unless I'm using a tiny stamp, because it doesn't hold a lot of wax, and it just doesn't work very well for me for a regular size stamp or seal. And then you have the big one, which holds a lot of wax in case you're doing a bigger seal or you're doing something like, you can also use like fondant or wax silicone molds. You would need more wax, and then it pays to use a bigger spoon. Okay. And all of them will come with a seal. This one is a really pretty rose. Oops, sorry guys. And the thing is, and it comes with a handle. And the thing is, they just unscrew, so you can put a new stamp on there. And those you can buy. I get mine again on Amazon, but there's a lot of places you can get them. I bought this set of Christmas ones in July or June. But these are all different. This one, this little Cupid one, I actually got this one at Walmart. It came with the candle kind of wax, and that's when I learned I don't like that. But you can get, and they're not that expensive. You can get some really inexpensive. And they will all come with a handle. And even the sets, like when I bought my Christmas set, it came with one handle. But most of the handles are this type. You can buy ergonomic ones, you can buy smaller ones, you can buy metal ones. It's your preference. But those are the basics of what they come with. I also have, so that my craft mat doesn't warp, I have a bamboo cutting board under here, which I got at Dollar Tree, actually, in the Dollar Tree Plus section. It was like $3. And I have a silicone mat that I pour my wax onto. You just need something that is non-sticky. And then this stand, I made this because hold on guys, I gotta get a drink. Sorry. I made this because since my tea lights are a little bit deeper, my wax was melting because it brings the flame up so high. So I made myself a stand, and it works better for me because it's something to hold the handle. Because a lot of times like this, it will fall off. For me, it'll flip, and that's not good. So I also use ice because if you take your stamp, I learned this from Jennifer from Genevieve Designs. If you keep your stamp cold, you get a better impression, and it sets the wax quicker, so it doesn't just keep oozing. Because I've had that happen where you put the stamp down and the wax just goes everywhere. So I prefer to keep it cold, and I keep some paper towels on hand. You also need a lighter or something to light your candle with, obviously. Two other things I use are some paper tools. This is a scraper like you would use with a Cricut mat. I got this also at Dollar Tree. I use it to lift my my seals up, or sometimes if they stick to the stamp to kind of pry them off. And I use a pokey tool sometimes. And I will use that, especially if I'm mixing color beads, just to make sure they're mixed in the bowl. So, easy demonstration. You take your stamp and you dry it off really well, because I have actually had them pool water and it's really weird looking. Okay. You take your melted wax, you pour it onto your mat or your surface, and then I usually like wipe the excess off there, put it back on the fire. I take my stamp, and then coming straight down, you sit it right in your pool of wax. And there you go. Now usually while that's setting, I will take a couple more. Like I said, I start with 4 wax beads because it just works best for me, and then I just add 3. But like I said, it's through trial and error you'll figure out what works best for you, and hopefully those will melt good. I've been having a problem for some reason in the room I'm in. It's not the room I usually do this in, and my air conditioner is coming like around the room and blowing my flame, so it's kind of not working that great all the time. But once it sits for a bit, you can try to move it, and just lift it right out. I'm going to let this sit a little bit more so it can set a little bit better. And it doesn't have to be exactly in the center. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It doesn't really matter, but okay, there we go. And there is our little rose. Now this is still warm, so I put it aside. Okay. And my stamp is still cold, although you can put it back on the ice since it's been on the hot wax. And I'm waiting for this to melt now, and we'll see. Hopefully it will melt quicker. Like I said, sometimes though, well, that's melting. I'll talk about these. You can also use silicone molds that are for fondant, or there are some that are made for wax. And again, I got these on Amazon. I love this one. It's got this little rose in here. It comes out so pretty. I haven't tried to do the big bar yet because that is a lot, and I don't know how that would work. But this is actually, I also use these with air dry clay, but it works really, really well with the wax. These are neat too, my butterflies and dragonflies, but they, believe it or not, even though this is small, it takes a lot of wax to fill that crevice. You don't have to fill it, but even again, it takes quite a bit of wax, and it takes them a while to cool off. But I also have flamingos because I love flamingos, and the roses. I tried to make this big rose once, and it took like 2 of these, like it took more than one of these bowls of wax, and it just is too much, and it's too big anyway. I usually stick to like the small one, but it is another option that you can do. And there's so many different designs. Now, I choose to do mine separate like this, and then glue them on, which you just use like Fabri-Tac, or you can use hot glue. I tried once to just kind of melt it a little bit. It does not work, so don't even try it. I just tried to see if it would work or not. But like I said, Fabri-Tac, hot glue, it'll work really, really good to stick it to something. I have, and I'm going to try to do one on an envelope, but I have tried, once I got it to work really, really well on a project, but more often than not, I have ruined the part of my project I was trying to put a seal on because either it went crooked or it just didn't work and it smudged. Because if it accidentally turns, like, it will smudge. And it's really hard to get the wax off. And so for me, it's easier. And with my arm, the way it can jump, it's not good. So I choose to make them separate. But you can, by all means, put them, like, you can actually use it as a seal to seal something. Or you can even, if you want to take something and magnetize it, you can actually put the magnet on and pour the wax over it with the seal to try to, you know, to enclose the magnet in. There's a lot of different things you can do with it, but I'm going to attempt, okay? And another part is it has to be facing the right way. So I'm going to attempt to put a seal on this, so not so it seals it shut, but so it's just on there, so if you, when I use the envelope, somebody can, it looks pretty. So here we go. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of luck with this, but we're going to give it a try for you guys. So, right in the middle, I'm going to kind of pour my wax mostly on, a little bit off of the envelope. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to get my rose and make sure it's facing the right way. And then again, very carefully, put it right down in the middle of the wax and let that sit there. Now, it didn't go all the way. It missed a little bit. See, but it's all good. Let's see. I'm going to get wax ready to do another one. But it's fun to do. And I've actually made these for swaps and put them in. I did a Christmas swap, a Christmas in July swap. And I actually, that's when I got the Christmas ones. And I made a whole bunch in red, white, green, and some gold. So, all right, let's remove this. All right, it got most of it, actually. Lift it up. There we go. So now, the wax is on the envelope. And you have a really cute little closure. Now, it did get missed a little bit. And I don't mind that, though. That doesn't bother me. But, see, there you go. And you can use that to make ephemera and all other kind of pieces. So I'm going to melt that down to make one more for you guys. Like I said, it's a pretty quick video. You know, let's change this, though. Let's see. Let's see. I am going to, I will show you the chair from Walmart. We'll see how it does, the little, which he's very, very thick. Like, he's deep. And also, if you make a mistake, if you don't like your seal, all you have to do is take it. Don't cringe. I can make more. Just once it's dry, just cut it up into pieces. And you know it's the right amount of wax. There you go. And then just remelt it, and it melts quicker than the beads do. So just hold it aside and use it for a piece. It's just wax. It does melt, so. Now, I'm just using my regular number of beads, my 3. So we'll see if it works. And like I said, sometimes you can stir it around a little bit just to see how it's doing. Especially if you're mixing colors, like I said. And then what I do, I blow on what's on the end. And then I just peel it off, put it right back in. And I usually know, once that piece melts, everything is melted enough. Kind of like a little test thing. Okay, he's cold. Let me take him out, make sure he's dry. We're just waiting for that to melt. But, I mean, the seals are fun. You can use them on so many things. I've used them in journals on pages, in albums. Like I said, I would make them and I would give them to people. There's so many uses for them. Okay, that's melted good. We're just going to pour this again into a circle. I'm hoping this is enough for that one because that's a pretty deep Okay. Here we go. There. Again, I missed a little bit, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me. But there's so many uses. And you can buy so many different kinds of stamps. You can get initials. There are zodiacs. There are every holiday you can imagine. Animals. There are so much. Excuse me. There's different words. I mean, there's so many. And there's some that are bigger than this. I've seen a few. And I've seen some that are really small. So there's so much out there. You just have to check it out and see. Okay, let's take that off. Okay. Because I missed a little bit. He's off. But that's how he turns out. Not my favorite, but I mean, he's cute, you know. But that's it. Blow out my candle. It's easy. And I really think you should get yourself a kit and give it a try. You can just add so much to anything that you do. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And please give it, well, get that big thumbs up. It really does help my channel grow. And it helps other people discover my videos. And please be sure to subscribe. And I guess visit my Facebook page. And I guess that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.